My name's Luke Tscharke and I'm a landscape photographer based in Hobart, Tasmania. Being out in the landscape and capturing those moments just gives me so much joy and happiness, and for me I think that's why I'm drawn to landscapes. It makes me keep wanting to go back and experience that time and time again. I've been shooting landscapes for about 12 years and throughout that time I've started doing more urban landscapes, and it's more shifted now towards wilderness photography and really getting into some remote places where not as many people may get to. So for me, I've been very highly inspired by some of the great Tasmanian landscape photographers. I find that Tasmania almost has a genre of landscape photography in its own right, and it's much more of a wilderness-based photography. I guess there's no end of amazing scenes down there. Landscape photography is something that consumes you in a way. After a while, you start to think about the light and the cloud and what's happening, and I think it just becomes part of you. It's a passion that's very innate, and you really can't help but feel like you want to be out there and capture the beauty. I do actually plan the shoots in advance. You can plan them quite far out. There's some conditions that you're looking for, say with tides, and you can actually understand what the tides are doing well in advance and plan your shoots around that. There's some factors that are much more short term, and that would be the actual weather conditions. I actually have a map, a Google map that has all of the pins of where I would like to go, and I can follow those based on the conditions that I have. So I know where I might be able to go for sunset or where I might be able to go for sunrise based on those. So I chose the Alpha 7R Mark IV mainly because I feel it's the best camera available for a landscape photographer that actually likes to get out into the landscape. It's got the very high resolution in a very compact body, which enables me to carry it in my backpack to wherever I need to photograph, and it's often in a very challenging to get to locations, and that's important if you're liking to do big prints, or quite often clients will ask for larger file sizes, and so it enables me to actually be able to provide what people need, as well as croppability and also other features like the ergonomics, excellent autofocus system, and combined with the amazing GM lenses, it's just a package that gets you very excited to use. There's one particular shot I can think of I'd planned for about 6 months in advance, where I acknowledged that it had an east-facing aspect, and so you could put a Milky Way behind that quite easily if you had the right conditions, of course, and the right tides. And so I looked up all of those aspects, and I did find an evening where those conditions aligned, and actually really exciting when you have that vision well and truly in advance, and then you can actually execute it, and even when it comes up better than what you were expecting, that's when you really just feel so pumped about what you're doing. So last year I did some work with Northern Territory Tourism, and as part of that we actually went out to Kakadu National Park, and we had this amazing sunrise overlooking Norlangi Rock, and we found this area where it looked like it had been eroded in a way. There was almost like a natural pool, and we were able to shoot it so that was part of the foreground, and had the beautiful light above Norlangi Rock. Certainly one of my favourite moments of that trip. Yeah, my forever lens is definitely the 16-35 f2.8. For me, that enables me to photograph all of my landscape scenes as well as my night photography as well, because it opens quite wide and allows in a lot of light. It's very, very sharp. It's actually quite small and compact. I think if you're getting into landscape photography, there's definitely quite a lot of things you need to know, and there's a lot of information out there, people telling you to do things this way and to do it that way. You can always take on that advice, but I think the main thing is just to keep practicing, and you can work it out for yourself, and just getting out there and really giving it a go, putting your work out there, and not giving up. That's the real key, and if you can really develop that passion, you don't really have to try it, it just happens.